Welcome to the AcQuum Consulting How-Tos and Power Moves for Infor SunSystem and EPM series, designed to provide you with tips, tricks and how-tos so you can make work within SunSystems and EPM quicker and more efficient. My name's Hyde, a consulting specialist at AcQuum. Today's topic is extended analysis, which is a powerful function allowing you to expand the analysis data you can capture and report on within SunSystems. SunSystems has always had an extensive analysis functionality available, but sometimes you may want to capture more than just a code and description, or there may be related data you want to link to a particular analysis code. This is where extended analysis comes in. Let's get started. I'll be showing this on the Cloud SunSystems 6.4 version today. However, it can also be implemented in the more recent versions of SunSystems 6 on-premise. What my screen's showing at the moment is the landing page from the cloud. So what I'll do is go into my applications and pick SunSystems. Now, what I have on the screen is a session showing me a product analysis code. This is one that I've opened earlier, and what you'll see here, we have limited fields available to us. If I go into the amend function, just you can see this a little better. We have an analysis code, we have a name or description, and we have a lookup code. Apart from status and other budget checking type fields, those are the only fields where we can capture data really against an analysis code within the standard form. So that's the standard one. However, if I actually now flip to an analysis code which has got extended analysis applied to it, in this case it's my project analysis dimension. What you'll see here, in addition to both the analysis code and the analysis name and lookup, we have actually got a number of related data fields. These have all been defined in extended analysis. Now, there are two types of extended analysis available to you. Standard, which allows you to link an existing analysis dimension and automatically populate certain fields from a linked table. And that's great in certain situations if you want to perhaps populate a table from a supplier or one of the other reference data fields. However, it is a bit limited. There is a second type of extended analysis, which is the custom extended analysis, which is much more flexible, and it allows you to define different types of fields, which is what we're seeing here. And the fields that you can actually define, you've got per dimension. So in this case, by project, you have up to 5 date fields. I'm using 2 here. You have up to 20 text fields of varying lengths that you can use. Now, the text fields can be used for text entry, free text. They can be assigned to analysis dimension or to reference data, such as supply codes, addresses, etc. In this instance, I've got them linked to dimension codes. So, for example, my project manager is linked to an employee dimension code. So that's a dimension that's already set up in the system. Likewise, my project location. So the text fields are useful for assigning dimensions, reference data and free text. We have 5 numeric fields. I'm using that to capture my project budget in this example. And then that's fund is another text field because I'm linking that to an existing analysis dimension. And then you see we can actually use what are called fixed fields, and these allow us to have drop-down boxes. We create lists in an additional list function, and then we can link those to our extended analysis to provide drop-down lists for the user. So those are the types of fields that are available. So when you're thinking about assigning extended analysis, let's think about the steps. Step 1 is to think about the additional fields you require. So you determine what type of field it's going to be, whether it's going to be a date field, a text field, fixed field, or numeric. Think about that in advance. It's going to make life a lot easier. And then what we need to do is we need to go into the analysis dimension that we want to amend. So if I now want to go into the analysis dimensions for product, so in this instance, I'm going to go into my product analysis code, which we looked at earlier, and I'm going to assign the product manager to this product code. So when we look at the analysis dimensions, we will see under the actions we have got extension fields. So you select extension fields and then you've got actions which allow you to create. So if I want to create my product manager, that's going to be a text field most likely, because it's the product manager is held or account manager is held in one of my dimensions already. I'm going to assign a text field. I don't want to waste one with a lot of characters for this one, so I'm going to go to the first of my 15 character length fields and select that, say OK, and then I can actually type in a name for this. I can have a slightly extended description if I wish. I can use just the same, and this is where I determine for when it's a text field. This is where I determine what I'm going to be, which type of text field I'm using. I'm actually going to put it from a dimension, and when I say OK here, it said must be entered, and it will take this dimension field. So here I'm now going to select my account manager. That's the record created. So I've created that extended analysis field now for product manager. It's a custom field. I'm using text field 6, and this is the dimension it's actually picking up from. So I could now go on and I could create my next one. I could create a date field, etc. For the sake of speed, I'm just going to move on from here. So you can create the extended analysis to suit your requirements. Once you've created those, you can then the next step in the process will be to actually amend the form. Now you'll see in our analysis dimensions we have the ability to create assign a form. So what we will do is we go into form designer, we will create an analysis code form for the product analysis dimension, and then we can come back in and we can assign it here, so that then every time you open a product it will pick up the relevant form with the relevant extended analysis on it. So I'm just going to close out of here, and I'm just going to go back into my analysis codes for product. Once you've defined the form, you can actually pick it up. So I called mine what I created earlier, ANC project. You can pick it up from here if you happen to assign it against the analysis dimension. Now, when I put in my product code P01, and the ability to amend this, and you will see the related data. I've got product manager, which I just added, so I can select that from my list of account managers. So the steps, so that's the last sort of step as such when in creating the analysis extended analysis fields. So I'm just going to close out of there. One thing that is really useful about this, as I think we saw with the project analysis, is you've got one sort of source to hold all that data relating to the project, and then that can be actually reported on in Q&A. And if I just flip to my Q&A screen, what we will see here is I've got a report that I created earlier, and so as well as having the driven from the analysis code here, where I have a report that includes those analysis codes that have the extended analysis, I can include all those relevant fields. So that means I've just got one source of data for my project related data, and it's all held in that extended analysis in SunSystems. So you don't have to maintain lookups and spreadsheets with holding that relevant project related data. It's all held within SunSystems. Not only can you use the project code and to access the extended analysis, you can actually use that extended analysis as your driver. So in this example, we've got a report which is actually based on the donor, which is one of our extended analysis fields against project. So I'm not even actually accessing the project code, I'm looking at a higher level of the donor. And then if I just recalculate this worksheet, this is a very basic summary report. This worksheet has got drills associated and a breakout by project. So what it will do is when it runs, it will actually break me out a version for each project. So we see automatically from one very basic summary report based on one of our extended analysis codes, I have got versions of that same report for each of the projects. So I'm using the breakout functionality in Q&A 11 to achieve that. So that's about all I was looking to show you today. I would like to thank you for your time and hope this has been useful to you. Thank you.